Bit Dungeon 2 is a game reminiscent of older adventure titles from the NES era, namely Legend of Zelda. Seriously, folks, textures and designs and parts of these dungeons look lifted right out of A Link to the Past. Now, the game itself is very basic, right down to the combat. You can play this game one-handed. Enemies are attacked simply by running into them. I understand why this was done for the use of a mouse, but I played this on a gamepad, so I'd have my right hand pressing buttons on Pokemon while my left thumb ran around the map aimlessly looking for another dungeon. Speaking of wandering around aimlessly, this game takes so many cues from the Legend of Zelda days, it came complete with lack of directions. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of a fairy who constantly shouts her objectives at you, but there's a reason why games started giving players guidance on where to go. Like, let's just pretend we have a relative playing this who has never played a game before. They could very easily get completely lost and not progressing beyond maybe one dungeon. I'm not expecting an in-game minimap, but just draw an arrow to point me in the right direction, and that would be enough once I got close to the dungeon. The live system is kind of weird in this game. At the start of the game, when you pick up the Ghost Princess, you get an extra life indicator on the top of the screen. When you die, you go back to whatever campsite you saved at and need to go back to where you died to get your extra life back. I wouldn't have much of an issue with this, but seeing as you can literally hold the left analog stick and murder every monster around you, but the environments in each region don't distinguish themselves too well. It's easy to get lost in, and if you accidentally die somehow more than once, you have to start the entire game over again regardless of process. I found this especially irritating because while combat may be easy to perform, there are certain enemies who can put you in a nearly infinite hit stun loop and whittle your life away without you having much opportunity to defend yourself. So imagine my frustration 4 dungeons in when I ran into a group of armed knights who put me in said damage loop, killed me, then killed me again when I went back to get my extra life. This game isn't bad, but it is buggy, broken, and parts are ripped right out of older Zelda titles, and for that I have a hard time recommending this game. It feels like it should be a free game, and even though it's really cheap at $4.99, I still think that's too much for this game in its current state. If you can, pick this game up on sale.